So I started my shop in July and I was so excited. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start this e-com business, set up my whole shop. And I was using the platform, the Shopify, right? So I set it all up, put all my products in there, and I was so excited. But at the end of the month, when the whole July was done, I made sales, but I still failed. I ran at a big loss, a big loss. Well, to me, it's a big loss. So to me, it was a big loss. Oh, sorry about that. So I started my e-com journey in July to set up my own store using Shopify as the platform. And I was so super excited saying, oh, okay, this is a new venture. This is a new journey. I'm going to try this e-com. I've seen so many people doing it. I've watched so many YouTubes. And I'm going to try it out. So I set up all my stores, set up all my Facebook pages and Instagram pages, and started sharing content on those platforms, and then started to think, okay, let me run some ads to these products and see how I will do. So in the beginning, I just randomly ran ads to different products that I have on my shop, and most of them I didn't make any sales. So yeah, I lost a lot of money testing different products to see what's gonna work. Then, without even expecting it, one of the products actually started getting sales, and I fell in that whole trap of too excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, something is selling. I got my first sale, and I got so super excited with that. But then, a lot of things happened throughout the whole month, and it's been a big journey where I learned a lot. I made some sales, but also lost money, as you can see from the title, right? So I'm going to be sharing with you what I think, well, with my own analysis afterwards to see what went wrong, how I felt. And that way, if you are also on that journey, you can learn from that and try to avoid those pitfalls that I really fell in. And you'll be able to have a better success in your journey as well. So I'm just sharing what happened with my store. So it started off, as I said, in the beginning of July, after I have tried all those products that didn't fail, and I finally got one which actually got some sales. And I got really, really excited when I got that sale. So I kept on running those ads, right? So I'll show you for the month of July how much total sales I got for that. So let's share that. So for the month of July, from the 1st of July to 31st, I made about a total $7,000 in that store. So yeah, that's how much I made from zero to all the way to 7,000. And I was really, really excited about that. So if I can show you a little bit more on that, that was the total sales that I got. So the product cost of all the products that I sold costed $4,008, and the shipping cost for all that costed about $2,430, and then the total cost of that was $6,000. So taking those total costs from that amount that I made in sales, that was just about 651 in profit. So that's just the cost of the products and the shipping cost. And from the sales, that's the only amount that I was left with. But that didn't count the ads money that I spent on ads. So the amount I spent on ads for that month, if we were to go to Facebook, so I spent about 6,000. Well, this is Canadian dollars because I live in Canada. So I spent about 7,000 Canadian dollars. So I converted that into like US calls. My shop was in US dollars and everything else is in US dollars. So that's pretty much about 5,310 US dollars that I spent in ads. So considering the ad spend I spent on running these ads for these products, I actually end up running a loss of 4,659. Oh, yes, a big, big loss. So that was my loss. So that's why I said this whole store became a failure after all that, because I end up losing so much money from that. So you might be thinking, how is that even possible? How did you end up running that loss? Yes, I was asking myself, oh my gosh, what happened? What happened? What happened? So, like most people, I fell into that whole trap also to just get too excited about the product and not paying attention to all other stuff that I should have paid attention at the beginning. Actually, I should have known better. But well, from following my mentors and all this stuff, right? I should have done that, but I got caught up in that whole like excitement, like something is selling, and all this stuff, right? But I should have made more preparations before running my ads so that I don't lose money. So I've just run down here the pointers here of what made me fail. So one of it is that I did not prepare before launching my ads. So I didn't have any strategy in place of how am I going to be running my ads and how am I going to be able to know if my ads are working and if I'm being profitable, and be able to evaluate the data I'm receiving and actually pay attention to my data, right? So I didn't know my numbers. So when I went into running ads, I was like, running ads, didn't know my numbers. I didn't know what's going to be my margins, what's going to be my cutoff for in terms of for profitability, if I'm making money or not, what was going to be my break even, all those stuff. I didn't even know even my break even is CPA. I didn't even know any of those stuff such as red ads. So I didn't even know what was my break even ROAS. So I was like, what is that? What? I'm making sales. What does that mean? So not knowing your numbers, end up falling for that whole big trap, right? So I end up losing money because I didn't pay attention to my numbers. I didn't have a strategy before going in. I didn't even know what was going to be my break-even ROAS and what was going to be my break-even the cost per acquisition, right? So not knowing that, I didn't even know how I was going to be scaling my ads. So I thought I was scaling my ads, but then I was really losing money trying to scale ads. So yeah, that didn't work out. I'm laughing now, but I was crying for my money, which I lost. But it's done. It's done. It's already done, right? So that was a very expensive lesson for me to learn, but I can't say, well, it's already done, right? So what I can do now is just look back to learn from those mistakes that I did, to say, okay, what can I learn from this experience? So one, don't get too excited to know your numbers before you launch and know how you're going to be scaling, and don't fall for the product that you're running, right? And the biggest one, I would say for me, it was pricing of the products. I had bad pricing for products, and that came down to my mindset. So my mindset at that moment, I was thinking, I'm like, okay, who's going to be paying this much for this thing? So I limited myself when it came to pricing my products, because I was thinking, I'm like, who's gonna buy this for this much, right? So, but because my pricing was already bad, I wasn't gonna get any profit from the way up prices, because I was limiting myself with my own objections and my own limiting beliefs, blah 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 blah. So that made me lose a lot of money because I didn't price my product properly. So when I started in the middle of the month, I started realizing that, okay, my profits are not really that good. So I tried to raise it. But even when I was raising the price of that product, I was still limiting myself in how much I can increase the price of that product. So I was just like, oh, let me just increase the price by $2. But that $2 wasn't going to cover the ad spend that I was spending to get all these sales, right? So I really needed to price it properly. So now I know that I have to price it properly, right? So by the time I decided to actually get over my own fears and my own my own mental blocks when it comes to pricing and my own limiting beliefs, but then I would already run out of money. So I didn't get to really get that profit back afterwards, right? But I did end up increasing the price to where it's supposed to be. And I still got sales, even after I've stopped running ads. I still got sales from people buying, some returning customers buying it at that increased price. So that's when I looked back and I'm like, okay, people are still buying it at that price. So it's just me who's limiting myself from pricing it properly so that I can be profitable. So that was the one of the big thing I say, okay, I didn't price this product properly. And that came down to my own mindset and my own limiting beliefs, which was blocking me, because I was like saying, well, who's going to pay for this for that much, right? So hey, so from there I learned to not base price according to what I think, but base price according to what's gonna make sense and profitable, and not too crazy pricing, right? So make sure when you price your products, you're putting a price where you're gonna get a reasonable profit, where it's going to make sense, especially when you're running ads, because it has to make sense. You have to be profitable, because business is supposed to make money and not fail like what I did, not run and lose money. But lesson learned, lesson learned. So the other thing also I learned is not to get too excited. As I said, don't get too excited when you start getting sales. I know it can be so tempting, and I fell for that. I got into this whole excitement, and especially when you're getting those sales notification of like cha-ching, it's like, oh, I made a sale. And I want to keep hearing that, right? So that actually affected my business and made me fail. That first month made me lose so much money from that, right? So you have to watch yourself, don't get your emotions into it, and treat this as a business, and have your thinking hat on, or business hat on, so that you don't fall into that too much excited and not then paying attention to the business of the business, of knowing your numbers and what's making sense and being profitable. So as I said, also not knowing how to scale properly. That was also my other pitfall, because I was trying different strategies. So I ended up being all over the place, right? Because I didn't have one specific strategy I was trying in terms of scaling. So I was all over the place. So try this. I'm like, okay, let me try to scale it horizontally, what they say you do horizontally. So I would try to scale it I can't say the word, horizontally. And then also try to scale it vertically and all the stuff, trying to, all these other strategies of scaling. So not having a specific one, I end up just being scattered, as I'm scattered talking right now. Oh gosh. So I end up being all over the place when it came to scaling. So that got me into a lot of trouble, because now I didn't have one specific strategy that I can keep following and then continue seeing progress in that. But also not knowing my numbers, that didn't help anyway. So if I didn't know my numbers, no matter what strategy I was going to use to scale, I was scaling ads, which are not really profitable. So that's, not knowing if I'm making money or not, whatever. So that really helped. So it comes down also to knowing your number. So if you don't know that, even if you're scaling it, you're still going to be losing money, right? Because you don't have the proper foundations. So you need to have the proper foundations before you're running. So I learned all that at the end. But the time I got to learn all that, it was a little bit too late. I've already lost money. But so that made me lose so much money when it comes to running ads. So now I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I need to re-strategize, relearn all the stuff I should have learned before starting the ads. But hey, sometimes you learn by doing, right? That's how you get to learn. And also, yeah. I was learning. That's my journey. So this is what I've learned so far. So now I'm at the point where I'm like, run out of money. So now I'm trying to strategize to learn what I was supposed to learn before losing my money. And I'm not going to give up. I'm just trying other strategies, which are a little bit slow, but it's also making me learn a lot when it comes to like email marketing and all this stuff, right? To see what I can do to improve on that and actually build the business properly in the right way. So in the meantime, thank God I got a full-time job. So I'm working, raising money to come back and redo this in a proper way. So far, that's what I've learned. And this is why my business failed, because I didn't have proper strategy and did not know my numbers. I didn't price my products properly. I got too excited and didn't know how to scale even those ads, right? So now I think I'm at a point where I'm a little bit better in terms of how to run ads and know what to expect. I now know what my numbers are, and I'm still learning, right? So if there's anything else that you feel like I should be knowing as well as I prepare for my next second attempt to this online business, or this selling products online using Facebook ads, let me know. And yeah, because I'm here to learn as well as you are learning as well. So this is my journey. This is what I've done so far. And I'm still excited. Although I lost a lot of money, I'm still excited for the future, for trying and getting better at this. I'm not going to give up. This is just an expensive lesson. I've paved my way through this, right? So I'm trying to be positive and look at the bright side of this, because I know some people have paid thousands to coaches and never learned anything from those things. So, hey, you lose money in different ways. So, whatever, right? So, this is how I lost my money. This is my expensive learning lesson as well. But we won't make this stop us. We won't make this deter us from proceeding, because you just have to keep on going. You can't give up, right? So yeah, so that's what I learned. So make sure when you are adventuring in this kind of stuff, you take these pointers and try to have a better starting point than where I was, that you have better exciting results. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know, and make sure you thumbs up this video, leave any comments that you have, and make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss any of my videos, which are gonna come up with more updates of how I'm doing in this business, if I'm still doing it, or what other new adventures I'm trying. So yeah, you don't want to miss those. Make sure you join me next time. Take care, guys. Bye.